Well, hello, boys and girls. Those who bounce in between, it's Comrade Dankey here today with part 2 of our look into the debate between Sargon of Akkad and Vaush. And part 1 was sort of an overview, sort of a prelude, as it were. And I have combed through this 3.5 hour lengthy, muy caliente, spicy hot pepper of a debate between these two fine folks, and I have found several issues already. Now, to Vaush's credit, I'm going to give him credit here. He acknowledges that this is a bad performance from him. He says, probably my worst performance, but there's a learning opportunity. Tomorrow I'll be going over this debate and how I could have improved my performance. Enjoy the incoherent shouting and poor optics. Now, I'm gonna give Vaush some credit here. At least he acknowledges that it was a bad performance, that it was incoherent and poor optics. You know, I will give him credit for that. At least he acknowledges it. I saw a lot of distraction going on, a lot of interruptions going on from both sides. Interruptions. The moderator was obviously favorable to Sargon, something that was very evident over the viewing of this debate. And what was also evident is that the moderator did a shit job at keeping these two on topic. They started talking about Nigel Farage and UKIP, then they started talking about immigrants, trans rights, worker co-ops, this thing, that thing, the other thing, pretty much everything but the topic of the debate, which was capitalism versus socialism, a debate which any leftist should be able to win in their sleep. So, I expected a clear-cut, straightforward debate between capitalism versus socialism, but instead what we got was 3.5 hours of incoherent rambling and poor optics. And, you know, that was Vaush's own words on that. So, is there a lot to take from this? I would say it's not worth your time, it's not worth my time, it's not worth anybody's time to really listen to this whole thing. Just know that if you are of the left, if you're representing the left and you're going to go in front of all of these alt-right goon grifter freaks and defend socialism, do a better job at it than this. And it's coming off kind of harsh, but if I was Vaush in this situation, what I would do is keep to the topic. I wouldn't talk about UKIP, I wouldn't talk about this, I wouldn't talk about that. I would talk specifically about capitalism versus socialism. I would keep that topic and I would hold Sargon to that topic. I wouldn't let him deviate, I wouldn't let him change, I wouldn't let him get away with not answering questions, pivoting around topics, none of that stuff. I also would try my damnedest not to get angry. And, you know, Vaush, I know it's in a hard spot because you listen to some of the stupid shit that comes out of Sargon's mouth and you want to get angry. He is pretty much a person designed, and his whole career is built around triggering libs and triggering left-wingers. So, of course, it's going to be very hard to keep it cool while you are debating somebody like Sargon, who's obviously not intellectually honest, who's obviously not interested in having their ideas changed or their minds changed. He's obviously an ideologue, a right-wing ideologue, and a grifter, and he couldn't give less of a fuck if your argument is clear and concise and coherent. Alright, you could present him the most laid out A plus B equals C, you know, factual, logical idiom argument. You could hand it to him on a silver platter and he still wouldn't accept it. So to argue with somebody like Sargon is frustrating. The only utility I see in debating somebody like Sargon is to present the left in a good light. because on Sargon's channel, he constantly goes around saying, oh, the left is, this, the left is that, the left is cringy, the left is stupid, the left is violent, the left is, destroying our culture, blah, 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 blah. And the second you have an actual lefty on Sargon's, channel or platform debating him, that's an opportunity for these people to listen to what a real leftist has to say, instead of just the straw-manned ones that Sargon makes up in his head. So this was really kind of a golden opportunity to try to convince people not to listen to Sargon. It was an opportunity to make Sargon look stupid, which isn't hard to do. It's not hard to debunk Sargon's dipshit views on all of these different opinions, but the fact that the debate kept going from topic to topic, bouncing around, the fact that there was constant interruptions, the fact that Vaush got heated and came off as being mean and well, not mean, but just belligerent, and it was poor optics. It's not the best look, and people came away from this debate having a lesser opinion about socialists, a lesser opinion about leftist. I paid attention to the chat. People were laughing. People were laughing at Vaush's, his temper, his attitude, his behavior. And, I'm not saying that I'm above acting like that, but if I was in a high-profile debate, you best believe I would try to conduct myself in a manner that painted socialism in the best light possible. That means don't interrupt, don't get belligerent, don't get angry, communicate your points in a clear, concise, logical manner. And if you can do that, if you can keep your cool, and if you can keep focused on the topic at hand, then hopefully you'll do a little bit better job at tackling Sargon of Akkad in the future. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll ever get a shot at Sargon. He's a little bit out of my league, unfortunately, for me. But if I ever did have to debate somebody like Sargon, I would try to take my own advice, and I would try to use Vaush's performance in this debate as more of a guide of what not to do. Because I listened to Vaush, and he tried I wouldn't say he tried his best, but he did try to answer what Sargon was slinging at him. It's just the fact that Sargon can move from topic to topic like that, and change the questioning up, and if you're answering one question, he'll just ask you another one. And so it's very mentally taxing to try to keep up with all of that. So in the future, I would say just stay focused, don't get angry, stay cool, and be chill. Just be chill, and treat this like you are representing the left, because in a very real way you are. People are looking at Vaush's performance in this debate, and they think this is emblematic of how all leftists behave, how all leftists believe, and it's not. So that's all I got to say about this. Hopefully I won't have to see anything from Vaush in a long time, because quite frankly, this guy, he doesn't deserve the attention he has. Neither of these people do. But we can all make mistakes. We can all have bad performances. And my issues with Vaush are much deeper than, he didn't have the best optics and he didn't express his thoughts, super coherently during this debate. No, they go much deeper than that. My issues with Vaush are ideological ones, not necessarily his performance. So, I say all this because there's going to come a day where I'm going to debate somebody and I'm going to do a horrible job. Guaranteed, I'm going to do a horrible job. Even though I've had, plenty of debates before, debates in real life, It's easy for me to sit on the sidelines and say, oh, Vaush, you fucked up, you should have done this, you should have done that. It's a whole other thing to be there in person, to have the pressure of all the people in chat, to have all the pressure of the viewers. It's a lot of pressure. I don't envy Vaush, but I will say, just to conclude, if you don't think you can do it, leave the debating to somebody who can. Don't try to take these idiots on if you don't think you got the gumption to do it. And if you do got the gumption, well then conduct yourself in a manner that doesn't make socialists look dumb. That's all I gotta say. Alright, let me know what you think in the comments below. Dankey out.